Episode 2 of reviewing every single Marvel movie until I hit 1,000 subs. Right now I'm sitting at 829. YouTube censors videos with swear words, but I'm going to risk it and say it anyway. Ang Lee's Hulk is better than this Hulk.
No, no, no!
Seriously, say what you want about Ang Lee's Hulk, but at least it feels like a comic book movie.
Lock down the entire facility immediately.
Okay, so maybe they took the comic book thing a bit too far.
Target's still moving towards blue level.
Evacuate the main hall.
But still, I was never bored watching this version. I'll give this 2008 version of Hulk some credit. The beginning is interesting and the end is interesting. So I'm only going to talk about what happens in those parts because, trust me, the middle is about as interesting and appealing as a cat's litter tray. Sure, if you dig deep enough, you might find some interesting shaped turds to appreciate. But I don't know what my point is here really, but my point is the beginning is great.
Anybody else seeing this?
We see Bruce Banner living a double life in the slums of Brazil, hiding from the US government, and he's actively trying his best to live a normal life, practicing meditation to keep the Hulk from surfacing, and working in a soda factory where no one knows who he is. Edward Norton blends in perfectly here as a Brazilian warehouse worker.
Me deixa com fome. Não van quando eu fome.
Bruce accidentally lets a drop of his blood go into one of the soda bottles, and Stan Lee ends up drinking it, and as the narrator tells us, Stan Lee gets some interesting side effects from it.
Wow.
And that's how the US government find out where Bruce Banner is hiding, because they trace where the bottle came from. And before we move on, does anyone else see the missed opportunity here? How amazing would it have been for Stan Lee to Hulk out? I mean, I guess having 3 versions of the Hulk in one movie would complicate things, but still, would have been cool. The US military are now playing cat and mouse with Bruce through the favelas of Brazil, and it's a great choice of location for this kind of chase scene, what with all the roofs and alleyways and stuff. I just think it's neat. Before Bruce went on the run again, he was secretly communicating with a scientist who was working with him to find a cure for Hulkamania. And the scientist is all like, "Listen, brother," I'm not going to do the accent, "you're going to have to bring your ass down to wherever I live so I can study you up close." And wherever that is, that's where Bruce is heading next.
We set to pop? Oh my God.
Bruce, can you hear me?
There's one guy in the military who is willing to do anything to take down Hulk, even getting injected with some Hulk genes to make him run fast. This dedicated soldier is played by legendary actor Tim Roth, and I think he does a great job in this movie.
Is that it?
Blonsky, pull back now. Pull back!
Is that all you got?
His job is to counter the Hulk's attacks and take him down, but despite his fancy maneuvers, he gets booted into a tree. Tim Roth commands the scientist man to inject him with the same Hulk juice that he extracted from Bruce earlier, but the scientist warns that mixing these bloods could make him into a CGI abomination. Oh no! Oh dear God, no, look at him. Despite how horrific this guy looks, I think it's a great idea to have an Abomination version of Hulk be the end boss fight. But is it just me, or does this whole thing just feel underwhelming? He doesn't kill the Abomination, and the good Hulk doesn't even really appear to be hurt by this or affected in any way. Again, I can't help but compare this to the 2003 Hulk boss fight, which despite making you feel like you've just taken some magic mushrooms, it's at least doing something. In the end, I really can't say much happens in this movie that makes me want to watch it ever again. But I had to go through this one because I'm going in phase order, and if I skipped this movie, I would be breaking my own rules of this subscriber challenge. So that means, of course, the next movie is going to be Iron Man 2, and I think you're going to be surprised about my feelings on this movie. So until then, thank you and good night.